Charming day to be, Miss Fairfax.
Pray don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that in fact it means something else, and that makes me nervous.
I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I'm never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into her room that I've often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any girl I have ever met since I met you.
Yes, I'm quite well aware of the fact. But I wish that in public, at any rate, you'd been a bit more demonstrative. For me, you have always had an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Ripping, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines and has reached the provincial pulpits, I'm told. My ideal has always been to love someone with the name of Earnest. There's something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. When Algernon first mentioned to me that he had a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolyn.
Passionately.
Darling, you don't know how happy this makes me.
Oh, my own Earnest.
But you don't mean to say that if my name wasn't Earnest, you still couldn't love me then?
But your name is Earnest.
Yes, I know it is, dear, but supposing it was something else, you mean to say you still couldn't love me?
Well, that is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like all metaphysical speculations, has very little reference in all the actual facts of real life, as we know them.
Darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care for the name of Earnest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It's a divine name. It has music of its own. It produces vibration.
Gwendolyn, I must say there are many, much other nice names. I think the name Jack.
Jack?
It's a charming name.
No, there's fertile music in the name of Jack. If any at all, indeed, it doesn't thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have met a lot of Jacks, and they all, without exception, were more than usually plain. Besides, Jack is a notorious domesticity for John. And I pity any lady who is married to a man called John.
Darling, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once.
Married, Mr. Irving?
Sure, you know that I love you, and you've made it quite clear that you're not absolutely indifferent towards me.
I'm sure you. But you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing has been said about marriage at all. The subject hasn't even been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
Well, I think it would be an admirable opportunity. Let me spare you any possible disappointment, Mr. Irving. I think it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I'm fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn.
Yes, Mr. Irving. What have you got to say to me?
You know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you didn't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. How long have you been about it? I'm afraid you've had very little experience in how to propose.
My own one. I have never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose for practice. And no matter what Gerald does, all my girlfriends tell me, oh, what wonderfully blue eyes you have, Earnest. They're quiet. What blue? I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when